Developing now, child is dead, 4 others injured after a shooting in Dumfries, Virginia this morning. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall. It happened just before 11 a.m. on Milroy Drive. That's where we find DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg. And Daniel, police believe that this was an isolated domestic-related shooting?
That's right, Mark. Police were called to the brick house over my shoulder here this morning at about 10:51 a.m. Just within an hour of them being called, they actually found and arrested a person of interest. Dozens of police officers surrounded this Dumfries neighborhood Wednesday morning after multiple neighbors reported hearing gunshots.
And I had this pop, 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 about 5 or 6 times.
3 gunshots. Pam, pam, pam. So the first thing I do, I run to the living room and all my kids, my 2 kids on the floor.
Abdullah, who didn't want to show his face, says when the first officer from the town of Dumfries got on scene, he ran out to help.
I told the police I'm a CPR certified. And I walk at the house, we say, oh yeah, jump in, help.
One woman was found outside the house, shot multiple times, and the officer used tourniquets to control the bleeding.
He was also asking the lady, what's going on? What's happened? Is there any other shooter? Is there somebody in the house? They say, yes, there's somebody in the house and all that.
Police found 4 more people inside, including a child pronounced dead.
As of right now, the other 4 victims are being treated at an area hospital. Their condition is not known, but all of them appear to have had some sort of gunshot-related injuries. Prince William County Police say within about an hour, they arrested a person of interest. We were able to determine, get a suspect description pretty quickly and a possible name of the individual who is known to at least some of the folks who were at the residence. Several people who live here say they're not shocked to hear about a shooting. Take it from someone who tried moving away from gun violence.
We moved over here 1 week later, somebody was shot right in the junction in his car, around 6 a.m. in the morning.
One neighbor tells me the family who lived here only moved in a few months ago.
Very, very heartbreaking, sad.
Now, police tell me they did recover a gun inside the house, although it's unknown if that gun was the one used in today's shooting. Police are asking anybody who might have witnessed the shooter coming out of that house or possibly have doorbell video that captured that man or that person getting away to contact police. We're live in Dumfries. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you. Taking a live look outside today, which began with unseasonably warm weather. Will that last, or is rain on the way? Heading over now to meteorologist Damon Matson with a check on the forecast. Damon, I thought we saw the sun come out just a short time ago. Will that remain tomorrow? Is tomorrow going to be another sunny day, or things going to change?
Just a little bit of sunshine, trying to make a late appearance out there this evening. A change of pace in terms of that sky covered. But first and foremost, yesterday I mentioned we tied a record. Well, we actually ended up breaking that record high on Tuesday after some rounding with those official numbers. There you have it, that new record high, 69 degrees for January the 3rd. But as far as it goes today, well, that cloud cover and that rainfall really has kept things on the cooler side. For the most part, we did not get anywhere close to records today, but it was still an extremely warm one. 63, still that current temperature in Leesburg and Frederick, and we have those upper 50s to low 60s from the I-81 corridor in western Maryland all the way to the Chesapeake Bay shoreline. And that was even despite, look at all the cloud cover we experienced today. We even had a batch of rainfall move across southern Maryland, but other than that, for the large part, we stayed dry here today. We lucked out as this storm system really lost a lot of steam as it approached the area and moved through. And now we're seeing that break in the cloud deck off to the west now as we wait for this cold front that is still back over West Virginia to officially sweep across the DMV. Then more and more clearing is going to take shape, and that will eventually lead to some cooler temperatures. But for now, here you go. The last little bit of a chance we have for rainfall will be over the next hour, but things are looking to be pretty much on the dry side, and then we will slowly start to break up that cloud deck even more so as we get into the later overnight hours. So is the sunshine then here to stay as we go to the end of the week, and how much and how quickly are those temperatures going to cool down as we get into your Thursday and Friday? Your full forecast is coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Dame, looking forward to it. Thank you, sir. Just 4 days into the new year, the district has already seen 2 homicides and at least 3 other confirmed gun-related incidents. Now, with new leadership on City Council and in Mayor Bowser's cabinet, how do they plan to tackle this problem? DC News Now's Katie Ree spoke with all interested parties, and she joins us now with more. Good evening, Katie.
Good evening. Now, like you said, it's only 4 days into the new year, and already 2 people have died as a result of gun violence here in the district. Now, local leaders say this has to stop.
If we don't do something fast, we're going to see another bloody year, and that is unacceptable.
Just 4 days into the new year, D.C. police are investigating 2 gun-related homicides, including a teenage boy. And multiple people were hurt in shootings. Local leaders say they're fed up with the surging gun violence.
Any loss of life is tragic. We've been very descriptive in our emotions behind that, right? We will continue as an agency to work with our partners to make sure that we are working to prevent the crime, but also there has to be some accountability in the rest of the system.
Ward 5's new council member Zachary Parker says ending gun violence goes beyond more funding and increased police presence.
What we also are seeing, I think, are the consequences of communities being disrupted by gentrification and building and development. And while development is not always bad, we know that communities need support, and that starts with housing and food, education, and mental health resources, especially coming out of the pandemic.
Parker also says the police department, the Attorney General's office, and other violence prevention groups in the city need to be more unified.
While there is some coordination, they're not working in tandem always. They're not always sharing information, and I would like to see them under one roof, under one agency, with much more coordination to be able to target violent crime where it's happening.
Neighbors are frustrated too, but they're even more afraid.
It's traumatizing not knowing if your kid is going to make it home from school.
I want to cry because I'm tired. This neighborhood was...
Now, all this violence has come on the heels of the newly appointed Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice. We did reach out to her for a comment, but we haven't heard back yet. But Metropolitan Police says they've already worked with Lindsay Appiah over the last few years, and they already have a working relationship with her. In the studio, Katie Ree, DC News Now.
Katie, thank you. Developing now, a Glen Forest Elementary School assistant has been charged with assaulting a special needs student. Police say an employee witnessed 36-year-old Meredith Capitz assault the student. She was reported to school administrators. The circumstances around the case have not been released. Well, just 1 day after Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin called for an investigation into Thomas Jefferson High School, Attorney General Josh Meares is doing just that. Parents say the Thomas Jefferson administrators did not inform students that they had qualified for National Merit Awards in time for college application deadlines. Meares, along with the parents, demands that those responsible should be held accountable.
That is why I'm announcing today that my Office of Civil Rights is opening an investigation into this very issue.
The awards can allow for students to qualify for certain scholarships, allowing for some colleges to become more affordable. House Republicans are still fighting over who will become the next speaker. GOP leader Kevin McCarthy won't back down despite making history as the first majority nominee in 100 years to fail on the first vote. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor takes a closer look.
Good evening. Not much really changed between today's and yesterday's votes, but when you look at that history from a century ago, it took 9 rounds for the House to elect a speaker.
Democracy is messy.
The chaotic start to the new Congress continued Wednesday as Kevin McCarthy tried once again to grab the House Speaker's gavel.
Byron Donalds, Kevin McCarthy.
McCarthy supporters like Wisconsin's Mike Gallagher and Michigan's Tim Walberg urged the holdouts to back down.
It's time to take a win and move on for the good of America, not just for yourselves.
We're growing in numbers. That's a good thing.
But South Carolina's Ralph Norman and Texas's Chip Roy still want concessions from McCarthy on changing House rules.
This country needs leadership that does not reflect this
city, this town that is badly broken.
Without a speaker, the chamber cannot swear in new members, organize committees, or take up legislation. But lawmakers from both parties, including Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick and Missouri Democrat Emanuel Cleaver, said the delay hurts more than just Congress.
It's becoming, quite frankly, a national security issue right now.
I'm somewhat concerned about what would happen if a crisis hit the United States tonight.
And President Joe Biden said the process makes Republicans look bad.
It's embarrassing for the country.
And President Biden also offered a split screen today to the Republican infighting by traveling to Kentucky with Democrats and Republicans, including Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell, to talk up the new infrastructure law. In Washington, I'm Jessie Tenor.
Developing now, one person and a firefighter were transported to a hospital after a house fire in Northeast D.C. The fire went through the basement, first and second floors. 5 people have been displaced. Red Cross will be helping them. 100 firefighters responded. Pepco has turned off the power as investigators are working to determine the cause. New details tonight. 24-year-old Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin remains in the ICU in critical condition after collapsing on the field Monday night during the game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bills released a statement today saying that Hamlin is showing signs of improvement, noted yesterday and overnight. He's expected to remain under intensive care as his health care team continues to monitor and treat him.